Hey everybody, this is Ms. Dietrich, and we're going to explore this question right here that I have in blue. We have 6/8 of an object being shared between three people, and we're trying to figure out how much is each person going to get. So let's assume that this represents 1, and what I've done down here is I've broken this up into the smallest pieces that I have just to help you understand my little bank of pieces over here to the right. And I've broken up the smallest pieces that we have here are the 16ths. And then I have the eighths. See, one of these is an eighth. These represent quarters, because you need 4 of those to make the whole. And then these represent halves. You need 2 of those to make the whole. All right, so let's think about what we're doing here. Let's start out, our dividend here is 6/8. So let's count out 6/8. There's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. By the way, do you know how many fourths that's equal to? Are you able to come up with that? Do you see how it's 1, 2, 3 fourths? So if you want to, you can certainly rethink, is that value. 6/8 is equal to 3 fourths. But since it was presented to you as 6/8, let's write it down as 6/8. And we're breaking that up. 3 people are getting that. Okay, so I'm going to circle it, the 3 different groups, to help you see it. So person number 1 gets this piece right here. Person number 2 gets this. And person number 3 gets this. And do you see in this case they all get the same amount? Now that doesn't always happen. In this case it does. All right, so now let's look and see how much each person gets, because we have to, that's going to be the answer here. Each person gets, if you count, this is 1/8, this is 2/8. So each person is getting 2/8. Now we already know that 2/8 is equal to a fourth. So how about we express it in simplest form? We know it's equal to 1/4. All right, now let's look at the work behind this to help ourselves understand. So I'm just going to move some of these fraction models kind of down here a little bit so they're out of our way. And now we're going to focus on what you would do if you don't have the nice models and you just have to write this down on a piece of paper. Now remember, 6/8, we already know how many fourths that's equal to, but we'll just leave it as that, 6/8. I'm just going to copy that over again. And anytime you have division and you're dealing with fractions, you're going to change the division to multiplication, and you're going to change the divisor to its reciprocal. Now remember, 3 is equal to 3/1, and the reciprocal of that would be 1/3. 1/3. All right, so you have the option of just going right across and multiplying, and doing 6 times 1, which is 6, and doing the 8 times 3, which is 24. However, it's probably going to be easier if you reduce ahead of time, because we can reduce this after if we want to, if we find that easier. But let's say we want to reduce ahead of time. Divide by 3 and get 1. Divide by 3 and get 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 times 1 is 8. And then we can either reduce ahead of time here or reduce after. We could have divided by 2 here and got 1, divided by 2 here and got 4, but we can kind of do the same thing after. If we do 2 divided by 2, we get 1, and if we do 8 divided by 2, we get 4. Going to work? Oh, there it goes. All right, so the GCF that we just divided by was 2 there. And you saw that each person gets a fourth because I clicked and dragged that over. All right, so hopefully you have a better understanding of why this model represents this question and how to set it up on a piece of paper.